Tonight's fly to tie is a pheasant tail. It's an imitation of a mayfly nymph, and it's an excellent one. A lot of fish have been caught on a pheasant tail. Our materials, we have a little pheasant tail feather. We have peacock herl, which is magical under the water for fish. We have a size 14 hook, but you can tie these down to a size 20. You know, you can tie them really small. I start you on a 14 so you can see them. And then a little bit of wire. This is small diameter compared to the last wire we used. And so it's a little easier to use, and I've just pulled a little piece off. We'll be cutting that off in a bit, but now with my scissors, I have something else I cut it with, because if you use your scissors, they'll get dull real quick. Now these hooks are not the barbless hooks right here. They have barbs on them, so don't forget, pinch your barb, okay? I've already started my thread on the hook. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take just a few fibers, not too many. Just pull them off. Ends are about the same. I'm going to measure the length of the hook, and I want to be anywhere from the length of the hook to half. Anywhere in there. And we're going to put those on there, and we're going to tie them down. And they'll become a little bulk for the rest of the fly. And then you just cut off the ends. Very simple. Now, I got my wire. I just cut it off, and I'm going to put it under the hook, and then I'm going to pull it down so it's a little shorter. And I'm just going to wrap it on the hook, on this side of the hook, the side, my side, okay? So it'll be your side when you wrap it. And that's pretty simple. I wrap it right back to the tail. Now, for the body of this fly, I'm going to get a few more fibers right off the feather. And it doesn't matter how many. There's probably 5 or 6 there. But, and I'm going to tie these in. That's some of them. And so I'm going to go up, somewhere about there, about 2/3 the way up the hook, okay? And then these, I just make my body, and these are real delicate, so don't be surprised if I break some or you break some. Not a big deal. You can always go back and just tie a few more on. And as I tie, I like to put my finger on top of them so they don't come unwrapped. The object's to try and get down to your thread. So if you pick way up high on the feather and you get some short ones, you're not going to make it. So now, take a piece of thread over those, a couple of turns, maybe one in front. That's called a locking turn, and you'll run across that a lot. It really helps hold the materials on there. And it's time to go ahead and cut those off. So the wire is always counter wrapped. It's always back wrapped. Especially with thin material like pheasant tail, because a fish gets a hold of that and his teeth will cut it even. And a few wraps there. Tie that off. 1, 2, and the locking wrap. And one more wrap. And a little helicopter action. Now, some people, when they do this, they count these fibers and stuff like that. But I wouldn't worry about that. You want to kind of pull them off even so they're all even like that, okay? And I measure them. So they're basically the length of the hook. I put them on there and I just tie them down. Okay, they're going to become my wing case. Now, the next thing is we have some peacock herl. I kind of like to get the big feathers that you can buy, the big long feathers, and take a few off the side, you know. But this stuff's real thin, so you're going to need, 4 or 5 of them, something like that. You go ahead and tie those on. And tie right back to the spot you were. And you cut these ends off. You noticed I ended back on the fly, back a third on the fly right there. And the reason for that, these are so delicate, okay? I like to take them and pull them tight and then wrap my thread around them a few times. Okay? And then with the thread, I just wrap them up here. Don't do too much. Now unwrap what I did. You don't want too much. Now, wrapping them with the thread is kind of optional. But got to do is get up here and tie it off. And you don't want to crowd the eye of the hook because you're going to have to thread that hook eventually. Now, all of these that we tied on, okay, they're going to pull across and make a wing case for you. Okay, they become a wing case, and then what you want to do is you want to split them up. So you have a few on one side. Sometimes you got to use your bodkin. There it is. But you want to kind of split them up and send some back to the back. You want them to hang to the back. And I'm not doing real good at this. There we go. And then we get some on the other side and pull them back. And if you make your feathers, they just become like the legs on the bug for you. And then you got the simple part to do with finish, once you know how to do it. And there we go. So now I'll give you a hint. What it takes when you're 1/3 back is the length of the hook shank. A lot of people make it even longer, okay? So they got plenty to work with, and then they pull 3 back on one side and cut them, 3 on the other side and cut them, and anything that's left over they just cut off. They are an insect. It has 6 legs. So the other option, and the stores and stuff do this all the time, they don't put legs on it. Just use it for a wing case only. So that's up to you. You want to make a fancy looking one, go ahead, you know, and pull those legs. At least try on a few of them, okay? Great fly, lots of fish caught on this fly. And you go into the fly shop and almost every time you go, they'll tell you, oh yeah, something type of pheasant tail. Everybody's got a way to make their pheasant tail. They put hard cases on it, epoxy cases, everything else. You're a great fly. Okay, you're on your own.